but I'm pretty much just going to be here scaling infrastructure all day long. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode. Alright, okay, where do we even start here? I have no idea. Okay, here's the deal. We're basically missing around 9,000 unobtainium. At least for the first star, right? Yeah, 8,670 dust. Apart from that though, we are gonna be golden. As it stands, our sources of unobtainium is the phytogenic insulators, the not so productive bees, and the hydroponic beds. In terms of what options we have, I think we just keep scaling phytogenic insulators. The problem with doing that though is to make the seeds, it's quite expensive at 4 blocks each, and that is gonna set us back on the 8,000 odd that we need. So I investigated the Ars Nouveau seed duplication with these Whirly Sprigs. It turns out all we have to do is give these guys source, and they will occasionally give us the unobtainium seeds, as well as a bunch of other garbage. But these we can use to slowly fill our phytogenic insulators and keep growing our production rates. Another huge production bottleneck for us is netherite. We're making netherite from 7 netherrack, and we also converted our Inferium Essence farm into a netherite farm. I did realise we forgot efficiency on the plant source, which is going to speed it up marginally, but it's still better than nothing, so I made sure to add those upgrades in. And also crafted up a few more seeds so that we could fully saturate all of the farmland. To get the 13 ATM stars we need, we're short around 350,000 emeralds, somewhere in that region. So you know what, I thought rather than expanding the gravel sifting, instead we could set up a mob farm for Vindicators. This would of course be affected by looting, and with the apotheosis spawners we can make this really fast. I headed out to the Twilight Forest to find a Vindicator, took a sample of him back home to a chicken, and the chicken gave us the spawn egg. I partitioned a 256k item storage cell for AE to hold emeralds, and from there I used our existing mob farm and converted one of the spawners to spawn Vindicators, and pretty much maxed out the rates on the spawner. It worked very well. So much so in fact, I think we're gonna have to add some more absorption hoppers. That's a bit too many items on the ground there. Hi Trader Llama, are you enjoying yourself there? Oh, these guys. One more thing I mentioned last episode was smelting all of our gold and uranium. As it turns out, we actually have enough gold smelted here with the 22 million. So we're going to swap out these drawers, and instead we're going to start smelting uranium dust. We've got millions of this stuff to get smelted up. Lots of it in dust form, but we need it in ingot form. Oh yeah, now that is a furnace. I love these things, even though they are lag monsters. The next project for today is to add 2 more turbines. These ones on the left and the right are an exact copy of the one in the middle, and in fact they're plugged into the exact same steam line. So I've been messing with their reactor setup here for about the last hour and a half. I still get very nervous dealing with this, but we're running now at 360 millibuckets per tick, 405 degrees Celsius. It's definitely very stable the way we have it right now. But since we're burning more fuel, we have to produce more fuel. So you may notice a few more dissolution chambers and chemical oxidizers. I just stacked these on top of each other. This shouldn't be here. But yeah, this seems to be enough to keep up. These 2 tanks are full. It's only really this section here that's running. Since we're now burning more fuel, heating up more sodium, and therefore producing more steam, we can power these turbines, which are now producing us 8.22 million RF each. And with the extra power, I wanted to send it into the SPS. So the total number of antimatter we need, I think, is 146 for all 13 stars. We're at 30. And pretty much the more power you give this, the faster it will produce, although it looks like we're now out of polonium. I wonder what the reason for the bottleneck is. This thing used to be permanently full, but I think that was because I had the limit set on the transfer rate of our flux points much lower. So inside these flux networks, you can actually set priorities, which I have these at -1. I want our base to be powered first, and then any extra power goes into the SPS. But we also have a limit on these. So for example, this one is only allowed to send 3 million. Top one sends 9.956 million. They're kind of random numbers, but I was tweaking it, just trying to get like the perfect amount of extra power in here. Yeah, this one's like 3.5 million. But now that we're giving it more power and therefore it's burning more, it doesn't seem like it's getting through the chain fast enough. Is it the solar neutron activator? Aha, looks like it is, and this thing does not take any upgrades. Yeah, looks like we have to add just more machines here, I guess. We'll start with 2, I hope that's going to be enough. They take their inputs from the bottom, of course. Output on the front. That's not the front. I forgot we have these floor panels here, and I really don't want to break that cable because it's radioactive. Yeah, so that seems to have filled our SPS, and around 1 millibucket every second, it doesn't seem like such a bad rate. Although I've done some napkin calculations, I think it's going to be 33 hours before we can get the rest of the antimatter. Since we're no longer trashing the steam, and it's very important that we keep it recycled, it means that we have to make sure these turbines stay running to burn off all the steam. And I found out almost the hard way that that does not happen if they are maxed out on energy. This one here. Which means that we have to make sure there is still capacity in the induction matrix. We're going to do that just by having a redstone comparator. This of course can read the induction port and tell us how full the induction matrix is. But we want it on compare mode, and we're giving it a signal of 13. So it will only output a redstone signal if it has a signal strength of 13, so it's going to be like up here before it outputs redstone. When that happens, we want another induction port up here, connected to that an ultimate induction cable, which of course will transport energy. We want the port on output. We also want this one on redstone sensitivity mode on, and that is going to go into an energy trash can here. Wait a minute. Oh, I guess it's inverted, right? When you power it on, it disconnects. I guess that's what it is. Yeah, so we'll have to invert the signal first. Yeah, instead we have something like this with a torch to invert the signal. This one we control with the redstone. So that whenever the torch turns off, this connects up to the trash can and will void all the energy out of this thing. I've also been chipping away at trying to get the base cleaned up for the end of the pack. Mostly trying to hide the AE wiring. It's probably not something anyone's ever going to pay attention to, and it doesn't matter at all. But it's important to me. I wanted to get that done for the end of the series. I'm curious if we have any more seeds from these guys. I think I've picked around 16 or so up from this. Oh, and there's another 8. Perfect. I think we're getting close now, though. It's been, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours since I started this episode. I've been working on other projects, which you guys are going to see on the channel, hopefully soon. Yeah, we'll fill all these in. So, as you guys know, we visited and completed the progression inside the Twilight Forest last episode. Mainly so that we could defeat the Snow Queen. And as we established, we need a Snow Queen trophy for every Oblivion shard used once in the ATM Star craft. So 13 shards equals 13 different Snow Queen trophies. And that means 13 different boss fights. It's not only going to defeat the boss, it's also finding the boss. There's only one like every couple thousand blocks in the Twilight Forest maybe. And I did double check, the trophy is consumed in the craft. I had a lot of trouble even tracking down this second snow biome here. I've covered a lot of ground today. Anyways, there should be another castle around here somewhere. At the top of said castle, we should find our Snow Queen. And a little birdie told me that we could actually mob swap her, which I definitely want to try out. If we're able to get a sample, that means we can spawn her infinitely. And I'm hoping that she also drops her loot. Can we get a sample, please? Oh, it works. Yeah, Twilight Forest Snow Queen DNA. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to leave her here just in case. Actually, no. Oh yeah, I think we do actually have to pick up another spawner. I used the last one we had. There should be one in here somewhere. Okay, we give the chicken the egg. Wait, no, the chicken gives us the egg. We can place down our spawner. Let's give it a redstone signal. And maybe a dragon egg. Oh my goodness, it works. Okay, please tell me they dropped their loot. It does! Oh, there's a chest here. I can't believe this works. Oh, thank you guys for your comments and suggestions on this one. That is awesome. Why did we choose to do this without EMC? So it's been a few more hours for me. I've been scaling more infrastructure, mainly the netherite production, of which we are now at 3.3 million ingots. Only 13 million to go. 13 million. But that is for all 13 stars. I believe now we have enough at least to make our very first ATM Star. Look at this. I think it's only going to be antimatter we're missing out of this recipe list. This is it. This is it, guys. Let's grab our antimatter. We have 40 now. Not too bad. Before we craft the star, let's make sure we pick up the quest for the creative items. Or not the creative items, the ingredients for the ATM Star. I believe we're missing 15 2x compressed nether star blocks. Those are going to take a minute to craft. In fact, a lot of this stuff is going to take a minute to craft. I did start pre-crafting some of it, but we can pick up a dimensional seed, and our quest, a creative essence, the improbable probability device, the philosopher's fuel. Can we craft this one? Yes, very good. We're going to be waiting on alchemical coal. I did set up a crafter for that, didn't I? I believe it's one of these guys. Oh, it's finished already. Yeah, compressing all this uranium has taken quite a while, so we have a few spare crafters here. Although these are only tier 1, can only handle 2 recipes. I think we need to go up to the crafter tier 3s. Yeah, so uranium nuggets all the way up to 4x compressed. Turn on the insert again, and it should be running. Perfect. Although, you know what? That being said, didn't we already compress it over here? Oh no, these were for the dimensional seed, that's right. Yeah, we don't have uranium being compressed here. There we have it, 1 philosopher's fuel, and our quest. Oh, and we have a similar problem here for netherite. Yeah, I'm gonna add another crafter for these guys. We need to wait until we have 1 to set the drawer here. These are taking a while. It's 5x compressed rather than just 4x for the uranium. Oh man, the EMC value in this is tempting me so much. But we've come this far. We are not using EMC at this point. Ain't gonna happen. We can get our quest for the Wither's Compass. We can also craft the pulsating black hole with all this unobtainium. But we have a solution for this unobtainium actually, if you saw last episode. And I think the last quest we need is the Oblivion Shard. So I suppose now that we've got 13 of these things to craft, we should probably set the filters on the inserts to these crafters here. Similar to the way we done the Patrick Star over on the other side. It's going to be a lot of recipe filtering. I know you can join these crafters up together. Not like that. I think it might be on the backside. You can join them all together, but it doesn't really help us much with this recipe. That really would only help us if it was a lot of the same item in adjacent crafters, which isn't actually the case here. But yeah, especially since we can't pull from JEI to set filters in XNet, while we have all the items available to us, it's probably worth setting all of these manually right now, so we don't have to do it later on. Before we make the star though, I want to make a rotational speed controller. I made this little temporary, well it's not really temporary, it's going to be here forever. Just next to our reactors to make these precision mechanisms. With these we can craft the speed controller, and that means somehow we can hook these up to the crafters and speed them up, since the windmills aren't terribly fast. I'm a tiny bit rusty with Create, but I think we should just be able to do something like this. Actually, this is going to break, right? Because one is going to be spinning the opposite way because of the gearbox. This has to be set to a negative RPM. Then we can power both motors. Inside the rotational speed controller, we can then set the overall RPM of the whole structure. Oh yeah, now we can plug everything back in. Give the motor some power. So now we're running at 32 RPM, whereas before I think we were only at 3 or 4 maybe? It must have been 4, I think. Come on, little smeltery, you can do it. Come on, cast out those ingots. We're waiting on like 15, something like that. We'll give it some acceleration wand action. Actually, is this even doing anything? I'm not even sure. Okay, I think this is the moment we can request our first ATM Star, and it's on autocraft as well. Hopefully I didn't mess the filters up. Uh oh. Nothing's happening. Nether Star blocks, didn't I have all those? Okay, it's gonna craft more, okay. Oh, here we go, here we go. Nothing's happening. Oh, dang it. I've ruined this moment. I know exactly why nothing's happening here. Oh, I was building this all up to be some... Yeah, I know what it's gonna be. Okay, I think it's in this room here. All the items are gonna be in this battle. Yep. Yep, there it is. I have the recipe pattern in here, and it definitely shouldn't be in there. Okay, we'll put it in the one underneath the crafters here. Let's try this again, shall we? Oh yeah. It works. The ATM Star. And our quest. But this is only the beginning of the end. We still have 12 more of those things to craft for 100%. It does feel pretty good holding one of these things, I'm not gonna lie. It's awesome. Anyways, we still have some stuff to do this episode, and that is gather some more unobtainium. Oh dang it, this stuff, I can't wait to get away from it. So let's just think here, is this really the thing we want to make first? The plan is to make the creative flux efficiency, and stick that in the phytogenic insulators to make unobtainium. Let's double check what we need for 12 more stars. I have a feeling it's basically just going to be unobtainium and antimatter. Maybe some netherite, I'm not entirely sure. Okay, a little bit of steel, that's no problem, that's just a level emitter somewhere. Yeah, 180k unobtainium. That is what I'm sweating about. A little bit of allmodium, but nowhere near as much. 13 million netherite. Yeah, it's exactly what we expected here. The rest we can go and get. Oh, we need more dragon scales. 103 antimatter pellets, yeah. Yeah, so this is definitely the play here. We want to crush this into a shard. We can do that in the crusher. Yeah. Let's crush it. And then with this, we want to craft the creative flux efficiency. Of course, we don't have any of these items. Cured rubber. Can we actually make this? Oh, no. We can't make rubber. Oh, wait, we can do it with flowers here. I'll get that. Anything else here we can't make? A lightning charge? Do we have blitz powder? Apparently so. Okay. Alright, so materials have been gathered here. We have our first creative item, the Flux efficiency. And I believe we can actually get 3 of these things. We get 5 shards per star, and we only need 2 of these shards, right? 1 for the worm and 1 for the Flux efficiency. Just to be safe, I'm going to keep this one safe in this chest here. And we'll use the rest to craft 3 more Flux efficiencies, I guess. So applying these to the phytogenic insulator, once it finishes this operation, we probably don't need these linkage amplifiers in here anymore. Oh yeah. In fact, I think we need some overclockers on the output here. On the extract, it's not going to be able to pull it from the machine fast enough. Yeah, we have to increase the transfer amount here. It's making stuff, it's just it's too fast. That is awesome. I think we'll use all 4 for unobtainium for now, and then maybe switch in some netherite in here. Yeah, I think that sounds like a plan. Is our crafter actually able to keep up here? That is the next question. It looks like it, just barely. That is good. At this rate, we're now getting an ingot every second, something like that. Time played right now is 7.98 days, almost 8 days played. And now that we're approaching 9 days played, 8.83, it's been a minute for me. It's definitely been a minute. We're at 111k unobtainium. We're getting close, you know, we're getting close. Anyways, in the meantime, we still have some other things to work on, actually, in order to get the rest of the creative items. There's still the soul receptacle to get for the creative spellbook, honey cake and chocolate cake for the blaze cake, a handful of these energy cells and batteries, as well as a flywheel from create, and also Pneumatic Craft. Yeah, we're gonna have to get the pressure chamber. And for what? For what exactly? This is so pointless, but we're gonna do it. We're definitely gonna do this. Yeah, so let's start with the hardest thing first. Let's start with the Pneumatic Craft. We're going to put this inside a compact machine. I've been doing quite a bit of work around the base. You may or may not notice any changes around here. I've placed over 1,000 facades in the last day, so I hope you notice some changes. But yeah, just so we avoid messing our new base up with Pneumatic Craft, we're going to put the pressure chamber here, and there's also risk of explosion with this thing as well, if I remember correctly. You know, it's a good thing we're here actually, because the first step in Pneumatic Craft is to blow up some iron ingots. We should end up getting compressed iron. I got this from the end dimension. Or there's a chance to get compressed iron. Excellent. This would be really fun to automate, I would say. But I mean, what is the point? Like, we need like 2 items and we're done. Probably helps if we make the manual here. I've never actually played all the way through a Pneumatic Craft before. Let's see how this is gonna go. And we need the bare minimum here. How can we cheese this? Lots of the stuff is locked here. Why do they have to do that to us? Okay, I suppose the first thing is to make some reinforced bricks. With these, we should be able to craft the pressure chamber glass and the walls. The pressure chamber is a multi-block structure. Yeah, there's the walls right there. Either a hollow 3x3, 4x4, or 5x5. We might as well do 5x5. We also need the pressure chamber valve. And I believe an interface as well to input and output materials. One on each side, I guess. Yeah, and that forms our multi-block. So now you may notice for the recipe we require a pressure of 4.9 bars. How do we make the pressure? Well, I think there's something called a compressor. Who knows which one we need though? Flux compressor? To make this thing, we were going to have to do basically the whole progression of Pneumatic Craft, make etching acid, the whole assembling process, figure out some way to make circuits. And I was just about to proudly say with these villagers, we no longer need to do that. But for the Flux compressor, which is also required by the way for the creative, we need 4 stacks of advanced pressure tubes, which can only be made in the assembly process. Of course it can, right? And to make this, we do need the PCBs, which at least the villagers will sell to us. In the completed form as well, we just have to unlock enough trades. Yes, I will reluctantly buy from you, Dorothy. Thank you. Oh boy. Yeah, see, he sells us the regular pressure tubes, just not the advanced versions, which is the ones we need. Although everything else here we can craft, right? Plastic sheets. Oh no. Plastic sheets. Oh, come on. We need molten plastic. We need to do the thermopneumatic processing plant. Normally I welcome challenges like this, but when it feels so pointless... Okay, enough complaining, let's do this. He disappeared. Oh, he's back. Aha, we got our program here, nice. That's such a cool mechanic, man. I love this Amazon tablet. Okay, don't judge me here. This is probably the most spaghetti setup that you've ever seen on this channel. Look at the state of this. Yeah, we're making like yeast culture and then ethanol and then biodiesel and then biodiesel plus charcoal equals molten plastic. And I think we've had enough of that setup, right? I'm never going to show that again. Anyways, we are onto the assembly process here. We got our PCBs from Dorothy number 4. Yeah, 36 emeralds for a PCB. We made the plastic in the nether. So we need to give 20 pressure chamber valves for 8 pressure tubes. So I believe the program goes in the assembly controller here. We're given this pressure already with the use of this air compressor. This just burns charcoal. And so I've got the import on the left-hand side. Man, that's so loud, isn't it? Yeah, we muffle it. Yeah, so I've only ever seen this system used before. I've never actually used it myself. The importer is on the left, the exporter is on the right. I think we can just put the items in this chest here. And slowly, slowly, it's going to pick them up. It should assemble them and then take them out with the export and put it in this chest here. Wow, this is slow. I think we can make speed upgrades or something like that. The only thing is for that we need lubricant, and that is another mess of a rabbit hole to jump down. Oh wait, I guess we can get it with the Amazon tablet. Yeah, we have 4 stacks of these things to make. How much is every recipe? We get 8 at a time. Yeah, you know what? It's probably going to be worth it. I think we just need to bind the tank. We want lubricant. Yeah, like 10 or 12 buckets at least. 16 buckets. The drone should show up any second now. There he is. He's gone. He stole our emeralds. Oh man, the frame rate is so choppy with this reactor running. It's unbelievable. I'm afraid to look this way. You can probably tell. Like, it's awful. Completely awful. But I think we've almost got enough antimatter though. Yeah, I just emptied this not too long ago actually. We're almost at a point where we can demolish that thing. Anyways, we got the lubricant here. Now we can craft the speed upgrades. Actually, we can get 2 at a time if we use glycerol. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. We should have glycerol in a chest up here. Oh, you can see it. No. There we go. And the speed upgrades. Alright, the question is, do we still have enough pressure to run this even with speed upgrades? Pressure is dropping. Oh well, at least it finished the first operation. Oh, pressure is still dropping though. We might have to get rid of some of these. Alright, is there anything else we need for this then? Yeah, so the pressure tubes, and then it's just a bunch of compressors around the outside. I think all of these we can make though. It's just some more PCBs. Yeah, nothing else surprising in here, I don't think. This we can all get from the villagers. We just need our stars and then somehow figure out how to work this thing. We should absolutely be able to make our second ATM star by now. 125k on Obtanium. Uh-oh, a Piglet heart. Okay, that's not that bad. I think actually the drawer for the Piglet hearts isn't connected, but staying here for like 20 seconds is going to get us all we need. Look at this. Ridiculous. Yeah, we are crafting. We're in business now. But in the meantime, while we're waiting, you might have noticed this normal grave. I placed this down a few hours ago. Actually, it was more than a few hours ago. I also mentioned we needed a soul receptacle for the creative spellbook. I'm not 100% sure, but I think eventually a soul shows up here and we can click on this. No. Oh no, actually, no, we're way off with that prediction right there. And it seems we've got an issue making Enderium. Nothing the Flux efficiency can't handle. Oh yeah, it one-ticks the recipes. That is awesome. We're gonna miss the StarCraft. It's gonna be in the crafters here. Just in time. Oh, and look at the phantoms. I've got my charm on this time. I've learned my lesson. Those guys ain't gonna touch me again. Yep, this is gonna be our second ATM star. Perfection. One of these we have to place the opposite way. That's, I think, what the problem was. Yep, so now that we've unlocked the advanced air compressor, this should be able to produce pressure much faster than the air compressor. We got a security upgrade in there, and we also have a little valve here, as if the pressure gets too high, then the machines start popping off and exploding everywhere. I'm no expert on this, which is why I'm going kind of fast here. We're just trying to figure this out together. So this one is going to be for input, this one is going to be for output. I just added a few more compressors here, because why not? They're cheap enough now that we can make these things. It's taken quite a while to get up to 4.9 bars. Although there is actually 2 different creative items that we need out of this. We also need 8 stacks of compressed iron. I don't think I made that much earlier on. Let's see, can we get away with this without exploding all the machines down there? We're gonna make a mess? I hope not. Oh no, okay, we're good. We got our compressed iron. Just need enough for 8 stacks of blocks. I know it's technically possible to do this lossless inside the pressure chamber. In fact, it might not be a bad idea to test that out before we put our star inside. But we're rocking like millions of iron, and it's not like we need it at this point in the game anyway. It's the acceleration one's time to shine here. Almost there. Oh yeah, I guess we should also request star number 3. Oh, and this might be the first time we're making another Patrick Star. It's good to know that the fixes we implemented do actually work here. And this is our ATM Star number 3, 9 to go. We are printing these things off. No, not quite, not quite. Awesome, that should allow us to get the 2 Pneumatic Craft creatives, assuming we have enough pressure built up. I already crafted the rest of the compressors and things we need. And I've also just added a few more upgrades to these compressors. We got 10 speeds in each, which I think is the max. It's burning through coal like it's absolutely nothing now. However, the pressure chamber is now at 4.9. Let's just do this, let's craft it. I hear some leakage. Yeah, every time it opens the valve here, it lets some air out and it therefore drops the pressure. We're back down to like 4.4. It's still got more to insert. It should work though once we get back up to pressure. Alright, so it did end up working. We got our next 2 creative items already done. Thank goodness we're done with Pneumatic Craft. I think it would be a fun mod to play through, honestly. And something we might end up coming across in the future, but we need some blaze burners. But yeah, it didn't feel very rewarding since we're doing it just like for 1 item. Yeah, we'll grab 1 more of these guys. Things are as oh wait, we can see it again. Things are as temporary as can be. Where's the portal? Here. So one of the very last things we have to take care of in this pack is to make chocolate. We need a chocolate cake. I forget exactly how this works. I guess we need a mixer and a basin. Yeah, so I think it's blaze burn on the bottom, on top of that the basin. Then the mechanical mixer, we have to give this rotational power. So milk we should have, right? Yeah, we automated this last episode. Cocoa beans, do we have those? Yeah, we do. We actually get these from 7, I believe. And also sugar. Maybe. It's not working. Oh yeah, of course, we need to power the blaze burner. And now we get the chocolate, right? I think we only need 1 bucket. There we go. And this we have to give to the other baked cake base. First one was honey. This one we can give... No. We don't want to place it in world. I think we need a tank to import this. This should work, right? Yes, chocolate cake. And we don't need any of this anymore. Actually that's not true. To craft the creative, we need the blaze cake, yeah. Okay, it's a few steps to do, but we can make this happen. We just need an extra star for this. And speaking of the stars, actually, how close are we to being able to craft 9 more? It looks like we're actually good for netherite. Just 23 antimatter to go as well. I guess I go back to AFK for a bit. We'll store the cakes in here for safekeeping. Well, at this point, it's really all about gathering the last of the items for the creatives. One of those being the worm, actually. I forgot about this item. We need to use the water strainer's garden trowel, which is affected by fortune, so I did stick that on there. And I just used the remaining time to clean up around the base and add the last of the facades. I hope I got everything, although you guys are probably going to let me know once the world download comes out. We also did manage to get the soul receptacle after killing a wither. It's a chance drop. And I did go ahead and make the next creative item, the creative energy cell. We got this on the SPS for just the last of the antimatter, and we actually have everything for the creatives at this point, except for the stars and the unobtainium. Oh man, this dang unobtainium. I got some more AFK to do, but this is it. This is the final stretch. I'm trying to think if we missed anything actually. And I did mention about the bee, the starry bee, which isn't actually obtainable. I found out yesterday that it's not actually obtainable in the Skyblock version of the pack, since you have to fish it up from warm oceans, and there is no ocean biomes in the void. And overall, I'm actually really happy with how the base turned out in the end. A few things I would change, but That's always the case when you're building big modded bases. Next series though, I do want to mix it up and try some different styles. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to look like yet. Something I do like about this is actually the verticality I've implemented. That's something I've always struggled with. It's normally just a big flat plane. But here I think it works well with all the staircases and winding paths and things. It's awesome being able to see down to ore processing down there. Anyways, enough rambling, let's craft the stars. Alright, so we are currently 1 ATM Star short. Almost there, but we have 8 here crafted. So we're going to use the soul receptacle to get the creative spellbook. 1 more creative down, we can use the creative worm and the spare shard we have. This gives us the super worm. Let's do the cakes next, I think. Yeah, so ATM Star goes in. Honey cake, chocolate cake, and blaze cake to fuel the blaze burner. There we go, creative blaze cake. I did craft up the flywheel and the alternator. These have to go inside the energizing orb, along with another star of course. And it's 2.1 billion RF to craft this. Let's get some more orbs on the case. We got a few items to craft like this. But yeah, I guess this is us done with the pack, right? What are we doing with this? Energy battery? I think this is another one in the orb, yeah. It certainly has been a journey. Welcome to all the new subscribers and viewers, by the way. There's been a lot of you joining on this series. I hope you consider joining us on the next. If not, that's okay. I really appreciate you guys taking all the time out of your day to watch these. Come on, energizing orb. Alright, what else do we still have here? The creative mana pool, I guess we can get that while we wait. Yeah, easy, just any runes and some mana pools. Our next creative item, and the quest. We should also quite easily be able to pick up the creative motor from create. Just need to power it, and give it a star in the middle. And this should be our 7th creative item. The energizing orb has finished now, and this is what even is this? Creative generator? I have never seen this item before, interesting. Oh, and the energy batteries took wireless charging. I don't know if this is going to work like this. It seems to be charging. Okay. 2 left. What does that leave us with? I think it might be the energy cell from power and the creative energy cell from applied energistics. Yeah, that's what it is. We need some nitro energy cells. I don't think I actually crafted those even, but we can. It might take a minute. Anyways, yeah, let's turn off the reactor. Hopefully save a few frames here. It's still quite bad because of the rendering on this thing. And in fact, I had it up at like 560, something like that, just to try and increase the antimatter production. Creative battery is finished. Creative energy battery. Let's get the AE cell. So yeah, the end of the pack, I tried to make it as interesting as possible, but after all, this took me something like 30 plus hours, maybe 40 hours to make this video. Most of which was AFK. I was working on some other projects, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, and trying to clean up the base. I don't know if you guys have noticed anything around here, but basically all the cables underneath are all covered up. It looks nice and clean. I quite like how this turned out. I'm sure you guys are going to spot something that's been missed here. One of the cables somewhere. Oh, in fact, I think I might have just spotted one right here. Let's get an extra facade for that. Yeah, but the end game of the series, I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it, to be honest. I think it definitely could use some work, and if you guys are playing this pack, unless you're a completionist like me, probably not worth to go for all the creative items. Especially considering there's no quest for it. We didn't finish the whole quest book. We did get the whole creative chapter though. Or we will, I guess, once we get a mana tablet. Not quite sure why the mana tablet is in the creative chapter, but we can manage that, I guess. There's our quest. And the energy cell from AE. And we also have the perfect place to store all of these things. So I built a little trophy room. Nothing super interesting, but somewhere to display our achievements and go in the extra mile, I suppose. So we have our creative flux efficiency, creative energy cell, compressed iron block, and the compressor from Pneumatic Craft, creative motor, and a big sword. This was all the rewards actually for getting all the items for the star. Creative worm, creative mana pool, energy battery, blaze cake, creative generator, creative spellbook, and we're still waiting on the nitro cells here. It's also probably worth pointing out there's 9.51 days played. That's 228 hours. I mean, we basically finished the pack at hour 180. It was just AFK like the rest of the time. Almost. I can't quite say that because there was still like antimatter and things like that. We could have sped up. But yeah, 228 hours to get all the creative items. Not too bad. Definitely not the longest pack we've played. Oh yeah, we still have 1 star to craft, how can I forget? We are also going to collect the energy cube from the SPS. This will also get its own pedestal. But yeah, as usual, there will be a world download available for all of you guys on Discord. I want to take a minute just to thank all of the Patreons especially. You guys make it possible for me to keep doing this, and I hope to be able to do it as long as I can. I really, really enjoy this. There's our star. Yeah, it's the creative source jar we're missing, that is the other creative item. And the final creative, the energy cell. And that should fill the last 2 pedestals in here. Oh, this is a great feeling, I'm not gonna lie. Finishing a mod pack feels amazing. But yeah, look out for my review of this pack. I'm gonna have a review video coming out in the next few days at least. But yeah, I really did enjoy this pack, to be honest. First time playing a lot of the 1.18 mods. I really loved Laser IO and the new updated AE2 fluid crafting. That was a lot of fun to play with. A few of you guys mentioned that we should just use EMC just to speed it up, but I was so committed at that point that I'm kind of proud of myself for doing it no EMC. Probably the first no EMC run, right? I don't know. But with the sunrise behind us, I want to say thank you guys once again for watching from the last time for me in this world. We got our stars, we got everything. Everything we wanted to do at least. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in the next series.